This is Greenville Marine's Tar Heel Outdoors on WHIG TV. Brought to you by Greenville Marine Outdoor Shop. Fishing, hunting, archery. Your outdoor truck, the Silverado. Do it the better way at Don Bullock Chevrolet. LS Tractor, simply more. Sponsored in part by Public Tire Warehouse, Wilson. Good tires don't get stuck. Carolina Jewelry, Pawn and Gun, your local gun store for over 20 years. P.L. Woodard and Company in Wilson for landscapers, do-it-yourselfers, and hunters. And by ENC, Indoor Shooting Sports.
Well, we finally got the boats all launched and getting ready to head out on the Pamlico Sound and see what we can do this morning. We have got a little bit of a late start, but it's a long way down here from Elm City and Rocky Mountain. Hoping to catch trout, speckled trout, flounder, puppy drum, possibly catch a rockfish, there's no telling. It's fish are starting to move, the minnows are on the move, it's a beautiful day, no wind. Let's go see what we can do. Just hug the right shore, and you'll be all right. Just, you don't have to get real close to it, but just dodge the crab pots. Now, can you see the crab pots? But there's a ton of them out there. On the way. What we're doing here is tying on the 1/8 of an ounce jig head, and we're probably going to put a gulp shrimp on it that we got from Greenville Marine. And we got natural today, natural shrimp. But we're going to fish probably popping corks first, so you don't want to put a gulp shrimp on there, because what happens is once you take it out of that juice that it's in, it starts to dry out. And if you forget it overnight and come back the next morning, you cannot get that gulp shrimp off of this jig head. You got to basically take a knife and cut it off. So we're not going to tie a gulp shrimp on until we want to make sure it's just as fresh as it can be. And we're going to be right when we get out there on the Sound. So what we're going to start out with this morning is a popping cork that we got from Greenville Marine. And below it we're going to fish a little small shrimp that's got a weight in it. And it's been a really good bait for out here. Hopefully we'll find them. That's the deal with trout. They got tails on them, so they're going to move. You can catch them here one day and come back the very next day and not even get a bite. But if you keep trying, keep searching, they're somewhere. They haven't gone.
Show me that popping cork before you cast.
That's the popping cork. It's an old one. It's beat up. It's been hit top water several times by rockfish and puppy drum. It's got a weight at the bottom, and then a little small shrimp at the bottom of that. Place. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but if you look right over there, almost dead east, there's a little tiny ball above those pines, and that is that's the water tower at Swan's Quarter. And that's a real good nautical mark for down here, because a lot of this place looks the same. It really does. I mean, if you'll notice, it is flat country. That's why I love it. But it looks so similar to everything. So that water tower sometimes can give you a good mark, especially if you're way out there and not really seeing land. You can see that water tower still. So we left out of Rose Bay and we're fishing the wide open Pamlico Sound right now. We'll go to special little points that we've caught them in the past. And just give it a try until we finally intercept some fish. This time of year the menhaden are coming in, and they like to flip the top of the water, just make little tiny splashes. Well, the theory is that popping cork has got beads in it, rattlers, and it makes a sound very, very similar to what the menhaden make when they come to the top of the water and splash. And so the theory is that draws the attention of the fish, the splash, the sound, because it travels underwater a long, long way. And that draws the attention, and then you got that really cool bait underneath. They can't resist it most of the time. But you got to be on fish to catch fish, and they're not here. It doesn't look like. I got a cork out. Good for you. And we need to mark where you got him too. We can. That is going to be a speckled trout. How about that, boys and girls? Well, we'll have to get the measuring stick out and see. It's got to be 14. I don't think he'll quite make it, but he's a start. How about that? Maybe I better lay this down.
Mouth got too closed.
Mouth closed, and you can move his tail.
Get 14 inches out of
Good. Put him in the box then.
exactly 14.
Exactly. You got ice? You got water there, right?
I got a live well.
Which one is it?
Let me just throw it out from back.
Yeah, I do, because if he ain't 14 and an eighth, he's gonna shrink.
That's what I'm saying.
You getting hot, ain't you, boy? You just go up shrimp or what? That thing you gave me? Yeah, that's gonna be a better fish there. You can tell a big difference. Yeah, that's a nice trout right there. I can't see him though. I got him now. Now you ain't got to measure that one, my friend. That is a nice trout. That's what we're looking right there. Hey, show him the marine teeth. See them two teeth in the top of the mouth? That's what he grabs hold of the minnow with.
Yeah, look at the bottom.
That's what he grabs hold of that minnow with, and then he ingests it.
We're gonna put this one on live well.
We are. Darn, you throw into the bank, got 2 on 2 consecutive casts. I ain't know how to buck yet. Man catch 2 trout and have 2 more bites. You got to get them fish while they're willing to feed. They can cut off just like a light switch. All right, gulp shrimp, chartreuse tail, glow. Killer bait at some times. Gulp shrimp, got it from Greenville Marine. It's got plenty of them. This is a glow. It glows. You can put this in the light at night and then turn the light off, and that thing glows. It's amazing. And then that chartreuse tail, when the water's a little bit dingy, that chartreuse tail allows them to see it. Plus, as I was saying earlier, gulp shrimp's got an impregnated scent in it. It's made into it. Plus, it sits in that juice in that bag all the time too. So that attracts the fish. You're fishing in, I'm gonna fish out. We'll see if we can locate them that way. Of course, you done showed me they were close to shore. I believe the wind's laying down just a little bit. You got one?
Yeah.
You ain't filming, you are filming. I got the net. Does he feel like a good one?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't want the horse in there.
No, don't horse him. Just trying to get him to me a little bit. This is my best angle. Oh, he's running good. Get him up where we can see him.
Oh, he's taking drag.
That might be a drum there. I ain't seen him yet.
Finally let no trout.
I ain't seen him yet. It's probably a nice drum. Oh, it's a flounder. And they can't keep him. Flounder season went out September the 30th. He's got to keep him. He's a keeper too. You got to be 15 inches, and I know he's 15. Good Lord. Holy cow. That's a big one. Get him up there where I can get him to the net. Oh boy, now that's a good film. Can't keep him, but you talking about some fine fillets right there, boy. There would be some good fillets right there. Beautiful fish. That's a 2.5, 3 pound flounder. Good job, Joe. He gave you a heck of a good fight too, didn't he?
Yeah, from Santa Cruz, that he's gonna have a stroke.
Yep. Well, thing of it is on September the 30th, we kept those.
Lord.
But the season's gone out now.
It just tore off.
I got some more.
Yeah, you open up. Look at the teeth on that.
Pretty fish. They had that moratorium on them last year where you couldn't keep any. And we were hoping that that would let some fish be larger for this year and they would be more plentiful. So far, it hadn't really worked because we've caught tons of flounder.
I think I need to change baits. This one's cold.
I'll get one for you. That's what it's all about right there, boys and girls. That's a pretty fish. Beautiful fish. That's 2.5 pounds. A good 2.5 pounds. Yeah, he fought good too. All right, tell him bye, Joe, because I'm fixing to put him back. We want him to live. If you look right here, that's his stomach right there, where I got my hand. And I can feel a fish in there. And the time of year it is, he wants to eat so much more. I mean, he's already got a minnow in that stomach and ready to eat again. He didn't want to come to that net, did he? When they see that net, boy,
as soon as he took off that way and started pulling drag, I knew it wasn't a trout.
God, this is ridiculous. They have just shut down. I think what we is, we're just not very many fish where we're at. That is the problem. We got to find a concentration of fish to be able to catch fish. All right, let's make some noise. There it is. Got a fish. You got him on camera? Puppy drum. I got him. He ain't big enough. I got him. Pretty in the water though. See, when the water gets cooler, see that Carolina blue tail? Look at that Carolina blue tail.
Oh, good.
When the water cools off, it does that a lot of times. And different species, I caught some silver ones. But that's a puppy drum. So we've got 3 different species so far. Puppy drum, spot on his tail. Carolina blue tail. He'll grow up, that's our state fish. He'll grow up to weigh somewhere between 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds. There's some huge ones out and about. But not quite big enough. They got to be 18 inches to keep them. A lot of flounder love to hang around here. You got real shallow water back in that bay, and that holds a lot of good sized shrimp this time of year. And a lot of minnows come here. And so this is a really good place for flounder. Of course, with this popping cork, I won't catch many flounder, but with the gulp shrimp, you can wear the flounder out. Flounders.
Say the limit of the flounder was.
Flounder? They have got to be 15 inches.
Okay, how many are you allowed to keep?
Well, back in the summer when we were catching so many of them, I mean, we were catching like 80 a trip. And having 3 keepers out of 80, that's a pretty decent ratio. Anybody that listens to the show and follows fishing very much knows I'm telling the honest to goodness truth. You catch 100 flounder, you're lucky to have 5 keepers.
Since they put it on the limit like they got them,
Yeah.
15 inch.
Well, 15-inch flounder's pretty good, but you know, if it's much less than that, you don't get a whole lot of meat off them. There's no need of killing the fish if you're not going to have much meat there. There's a good one. I don't know where to get it. Can I? Well, you need to film. There you go. Go on up there. Let me get up very close. That's a nice fish. I hope it's a good keeper. God, he's going behind the boat. Huh? Can you turn the boat, Joe, so you can land the fish? He's keeping on going that way. Turn it way around. Just turn the boat way around. Let me get up there, Robbie, so I can get the net up there. I'm pretty sure it's a drum. It's a big red drum, but it's a keeper.
Look at the drag.
I know. Just let him fly. You got him good. He's still green too. Yeah, try to keep him behind the boat. Look at that. Oh boy, you got some footage now. Oh, he's not. He's a keeper. I'll fillet him up for you, and I'll show you how good a red drum can do. That's a beautiful fish. You're getting close to me too. I can't do him yet though. Oh, I could have got him here. I want to come under in this area.
Coming up.
Yeah. I got him. Oh boy. Looky yonder, son. Ooh, that's a nice one. How about that, sports fans? Look at that. Beautiful red drum. That's a keeper. I ain't even got to measure him. Good job, boy. He fought good, didn't he? Yeah. You need to be holding him, not me. Oh God, that's beautiful. That's nice. He's perfect. He's probably about 19.
What's that spot in his tail? What is that?
It just indicates it's a red drum. I've caught them. Some of them have 16, 17 spots on them, but you know, they're like this would be a purebred, I guess you would say. They're only supposed to have one spot, but they get mutated every now and then. That's one of the nicest things I've ever had is these pliers my son gave me. That's how good he was hooked right there, Joe. Can you see that?
I can't see it.
Can you see it now? Man, that's all he's holding is that one little piece right there. It's a tough part of his mouth though. We got to turn it this way to get him out. Got to go out the same way it came in. Yes, sir.
Okay, I got my limit on that.
Yeah, you have. All right. I'll worry about that later. Well, we got to worry about. Look, he done back gone to fishing. He done turned on by that. That's gonna go over the ruler, so I know he's fine. So, 18 is the limit. So he is 19, 20, good 20 and a half. Let me see that Carolina blue tail too. Look, y'all don't know one, didn't you?
No, I have not done.
Did you really? Yeah, that spot there is a little mutated. That one there is about perfect. They're supposed to be kind of roundish oval.
I'm gonna step back.
I ain't gonna lie, you get close. Pretty fish. You need to be holding this fish.
Go.
All right, very successful day of fishing. We're down here on Jack Creek at the campground, and we're getting ready to actually fillet some right mini speckled trout and a right nice drum. So, gonna get to it, show you what's going on. Ronnie's doing the scaling today, so I'm gonna do the fillet. Once he gets them scaled, I like to get most of the scales off them. It just makes a nicer, cleaner fillet. And we're laying right up here. We already got the knife nice and sharp. And again, I don't know if y'all saw the show or not, we did, but the flexible fillet knife is real good for trout. I start right up here at the head, come right on down, get right there toward the tail, and I come through on top, miss the backbone. and flip him over and come right down. We're making basically 3 incisions on each side. Come across the head at an angle, just like that right there. And then we come down and start at the tail, and we come right up that fin, come right there to that head, angled, and we stick the knife in and we come right down the stomach. We get right here, what we do is pull it through like this, right along the backbone. What that does is it gives me a chance to grab something. I can pull that back like this. Then I can get the knife in there and I can run it right down the backbone, okay? And I can come down here, got something to hold to now. And I get to the rib cage and I make sure it's on there good, and I pull it back like this. You can see there's a natural separation. It's in every species, a deer or a fish or whatever. Natural species, natural separation of the flesh from the bone. And we come right down there, and the bone, the rib cage runs this way. So if we want to pull the opposite of that, and just pull it right off. So what happens is we got a little bit of stomach right there. We just cut it right off. And we feed the crab. That's where the trash goes. And we make sure we don't have that little bone in the head right there. And basically what you got is a nice fillet of trout. And he can go right in the bucket. Turn him over and repeat the process right here. Already got that cut off where we can come right straight down. And follow that backbone. If you follow that backbone, you're saving all the meat. And there's very, very little left on there. Come right on down here to the head. Make sure that's cut through. Then you start with the rib cage, come right on down, miss that big bone right there, and then cut in. Rib cage on this side runs that way, so we pull opposite of that. And we got a little chunk there, so we're gonna cut that off. Pull that down. Then we're gonna cut right down here to get that little bone out of that head. And I always cut that little stomach off because there's nobody gonna eat that. But I tell you what, those crabs out there, they will love that. You could come crabbing down here in the morning and get you a limit in no time. What that does, by cutting those incisions, 3 on each side, that leaves a real nice, crisp fillet. It's not ragged at all, and when you fry it up and you serve it to your guests, they're gonna say, wow, what a piece of fish. And what it is, there's no bone in there. And what I'll do is I'll take and run that bucket full of water after we do this, and I'll check it again. And then I'll go check it again in the house 3 times just to make sure that nobody gets a bone. But I tell you what, that is some good eating. That fish was caught this morning, and he is going into hot peanut oil tonight. All right, this is the puppy drum. This is the juvenile red drum with a spot on his tail. He's almost got a heart on his tail. He must have loved your bait, didn't he? How about that? Basically what we're gonna do is about the same thing. This is a different species. He's bigger, and he's got a little bit of different bone structure, but as far as cleaning him, it's not really hardly any difference at all until you get to the very end result. I got a scaler that's falling down on his job there. All right, come down here and cut there. We got a nice hole to put the knife in. Come right on down the stomach. Come right on up here. When we get down here past that fin, I'll stick it all the way through and run it right down the backbone. And that leaves a nice tri-fillet. All right, and then we come right down the back fin. And this time when we get there, we stick it right straight through, pull it right on down. Then we flip him around, come right through here. Come right up the stomach. You can come high because you're not gonna eat that stomach meat anyway. And then come right there. Now we still got that same where we can lift it up like that to get a firm hold on a fillet. And we just start running the knife right down the backbone. Stay as close to the backbone as you can, and you'll feel there's a natural separation. If you get off it, there's resistance there. If you stay right on the division line between the meat and the backbone, that knife just glides right on down through there. So we're gonna cut off the rib cage, and there again, we're gonna pull it opposite of the rib cage. Right on down there, and along the puppy drum, I want to go ahead and get both fillets off before I do anything else. But there's one little special thing that this fella right here, Mr. Ronnie Sadler, has taught me. When we were back, we were catching lots and lots of catfish and rockfish. I had to run up river back in the spring, and he saw a video where this fella would take these fillets and he would start cutting the red line out of both species, the catfish and the rockfish. And it's kind of like an oily line that runs in their bodies, but it's got a strong taste. And if you can cut it out, then you improve the quality of that fish tremendously. And if you'll take a look at that, this is the rib cage here, and this is all the meat that's come off. And you see there's very little wasted of that fish. And I was taught a long time ago to respect fish and game. Anything you kill, you know, you need to eat it. Cut my gear. So that there's very little meat left on that. Enough for the crabs to have a field day there. All right, so what we do here is take the drum and basically going to do about 3 things. We're going to first start cutting here. And if you'll notice, and you just take that, put hold of that skin and just run it right down. It just separates it right off. See, most of that red line is left right there. There's very little red line left on that fish at all. And you can actually cut that out, and I give that to the crabs. And I mean, that is just a white, flaky, just delicious piece of meat right there. And there's no red line in it. Very little. Now this one's a little more tricky, because what you got to do, that red line's going to run straight down the middle, as you can see right there. So I normally come in about right here, and I still got a good thing. I can put my fingers right here and hold to that meat, and I can pull it right down the line, just like that, and it separates from the skin. But you see, I got a problem. I got 2 pieces of fish I got to deal with. I have found that I can go at an angle like this on the first one and cut just about every single bit of it out by cutting at an angle. That little bit's not going to hurt a thing. That's a perfect piece. Then on this one, you're going to get a lesser yield because you've cut more. So you're going to have to come down that side and just cut that out. Nice little chunk. That son of a gun will float after about 2 minutes, and you let it float for about 2 more minutes. How is it, Ronnie?
It's delicious. I just had some the other night.
I turn this around, then I got a little something to hold to. And you're not going to get much off of this. I normally go kind of high right here. This is pretty much just a little tiny fish taste. That's about all you get off of that. Once you fillet that down there, and then cut that off right there, you don't have much on the tail of a drum. But you got rid of the bad taste. And you got a tiny little piece of fish. That's about more than you get in a fish stick nowadays. And then this one here is just almost a waste, but you got a tiny little bit to cut out there. Still be good. You just got to make sure you don't overcook it, because the worst thing you can do to a fish is overcook it. So when it floats, get him out. All right, repeat process, different side, about 1/3 of the fish. This is going to be your best fillet, so I try to make that a little bigger. And if you don't go too deep into the skin, you got nothing to do. If you go real deep, you're getting into that, so you just don't go so deep. And then we cut this off right here and pull it right on down. There again, don't go too deep. That's going to be a nice fillet right there. And then we got a little chunky piece left right here. Cutting that red out. And then we got the very end of it. But the one thing about a drum, you get some nice shoulders out of it. And then you got a right nice middle piece. And then this stuff here is just kind of little tiny tidbits. It'd be real good if you wanted to have an appetizer. Fry these up first separate, and that way you don't overcook them. Don't fry them with the big chunks of fish. Fry these separately. And then you have nice little appetizers people can pick up and have.
This is Greenville Marine's Tar Heel Outdoors on WHIG TV. Brought to you by Greenville Marine Outdoor Shop. Fishing, hunting, archery. Your outdoor truck, the Silverado. Do it the better way at Don Bullock Chevrolet. LS Tractor, simply more. Sponsored in part by Public Tire Warehouse, Wilson. Good tires don't get stuck. Carolina Jewelry, Pawn and Gun, your local gun store for over 20 years. P.L. Woodard and Company in Wilson for landscapers, do-it-yourselfers, and hunters. And by ENC, Indoor Shooting Sports.